This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last session, we have discussed about the batch programming, and we have discussed how can we implement the batch programming and what are the various interfaces that we need to use to implement the batch programming, and how can we execute the batch classes by using database.executeBatch method, and how can we track the results we have discussed now. So now today we see the concept of state management and the flex queue, and we'll see the schedule program and the schedule program. And first of all, we have to understand what exactly the state management and what is the use. So before going to that state management, I would like to take one more small example. I would like to take one more small example to implement a batch class. And there I will show you what will be the problems. And then we'll see how can we solve those problems with the help of state management. Let's see practically right now. For example, assume that I would like to implement a batch class in order to calculate the total revenue of all the accounts. For example, let me show you that requirement. I'm having an account object. In my account object, I'm having so many records are available. For example, some 24 records are available. And in each and every account record, I'm having some annual revenue value. Let me place that field also in this particular table. Click on edit. Let me place the annual revenue field also. I'm having the annual revenue values available. For each and every account record, I'm having the annual revenue value. For few account records, we don't have the annual revenue value, but most of the account records are having this annual revenue value. Okay. No. Or else do we have any leads? How many leads are there? 19. So let me fill up that annual revenue value for these account records. I'm indicating that annual revenue value. Let me open the remaining records also for whom annual revenue is not available. Let me fill up those values. Let's refresh this user interface. So now I'm having totally 24 account records are available, and for each and every account record, I'm having the annual revenue values. Different annual revenue values are there. For every account record, a different annual revenue value is available. Now, so now here in this case, so now my requirement is I would like to collect all these 24 records from my account object. Okay, I want to collect all these 24 records from this account object. I want to divide them to the various small batches, where I want to consider each and every batch should have maximum of 4 records. Each and every batch should have maximum of 4 records, and then I would like to calculate the total annual revenue. If I want to calculate total annual revenue. So whatever the account records are available inside my account object, I want to collect all the account records annual revenue values, and then I would like to make it as sum. Okay, I would like to make it as sum. The total annual revenue value I want to send to the people through email notification. This is my requirement. Let me explain. I'm having my account object. So this is the account object that we have. In this account object, I'm having 24 account records. I'm having 24 account records are available inside my object. Now what I want to do is I want to divide these 24 records into the various small batches. I would like to divide them into the various small batches. So this is the first batch. Batch 1, some records will be available. And the batch 2, some records will be available. And the batch 3, some records will be available. Like that, I would like to divide them to the various small batches. Totally, I would like to have the 6 batches. Totally, I would like to have 6 batches. Because I'm having 24 records are available, all these 24 records I'm going to be dividing to the various small batches of size 4. So this is the first batch. Batch 1. This is the batch 1. And this is the batch 2. This is the batch 3. This is the batch 4. And the batch 5. And the batch 6. So now here I'm indicating the batch size as 4. Okay, the size will be 4 always. Here 4 records will be available. Here 4 records will be available. Here 4 records will be available. Here 4 records. Here 4 records. So you will be having the records are available inside these batches. Whatever the records are available inside my object, I want to divide them to the various batches. Totally 24 records are there. I want to divide them to the various batches of size. And so in each and every batch, you will be having some records are available. In each and every batch, I'm having some records are available. For example, let me explain. In the batch 1, it is having the records are available. It is having the records are available. Like as account 1, which is having the annual revenue some 20 lakhs. For example, account 2, which is having the annual revenue like as some 10 lakhs. And the account 3, which is having the annual revenue like as some 4 lakhs. 4 lakhs. And the account 4, which is having the annual revenue somewhat. These are the 4 account records are available inside my object. These are the 4 account records are available inside my object, and these are the annual revenue values. Now, like the similar, in that batch 2, I'm having 4 more records are available. It is having the annual revenue value like some 55 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 11 lakhs. Like so now in the batch 3, it is having 4 more records are also available. It is having 4 more records. Here the annual revenue values are some 9 lakhs, and this is some 1 lakh, and this is some 14 lakhs, and this is some 50,000. Like that, here in each and every batch, we are having some records available. Now, my requirement is what I want to do. In each and every batch, we are having some records are available. Now, I would like to collect that annual revenue. What I want to do, I want to collect the total revenue. In each and every batch, we are having some records are available. I want to collect the annual revenue of this total revenue of this each and every batch, and then finally, I would like to display this total revenue value. I want to collect this total revenue value. So, whatever the records are available in each and every object, I would like to, in each and every batch, I would like to collect that. I would like to identify the total revenue, and then the total revenue, I would like to make it sent to the owner of the batch. So, totally 6 batches are available. In each and every batch, we are having 4 number of records. Now, in the batch 1, there are 4 records are available. I want to collect the annual revenue value, total revenue. What is the total revenue here? 20 lakhs plus 10 lakhs, 30 lakhs, and 34 lakhs, 35 lakhs. These are the 35 lakhs. Now, this batch 1 total revenue will be 35 lakhs. And in the batch 2, the second batch total revenue is what? 55 lakhs plus 11 lakhs. That means 66. 66 and the 9. That means here 74. So 75. 75 lakhs. And then here we are having 9 lakhs, 1 lakh, 10 lakhs, 14, 24 lakhs, and then 24 lakhs 50,000. And then here we are having the 35 lakhs. And here also we are having that value 35 lakhs. Here also we are having the value 35 lakhs. Now I'm collecting each and every batch records a total revenue, and then I would like to make it as sum. Whatever the values are available, I want to make all these values a sum. I want to make this all these values a sum, and then I want to display this total revenue value. Okay, total revenue value. So now I want to display the total revenue value in this place. So this is my requirement. So this is my requirement. Then what I want to do, whatever the records are available inside my account object, I want to collect all those account records. I want to divide them to the various batches of size 4. That means I want to divide this 24 record into the 6 batches. Each and every batch will be having 4 records. That means batch size is 4 records. I'm dividing those records to the various batches. In each and every batch, we're having some account records are available. Now those records I would like to collect, and I would like to collect those records annual revenue values. I would like to make it sum. That sum values I would like to collect from each and every batch, and then I would like to make the total annual revenue sum also. That means all the batch records revenue values I would like to collect. I want to display the total revenue. This is my requirement. Then how can we implement this functionality? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so then how can we implement that here? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, how can we implement? So let me take that use case. Create a batch class. Batch class. Calculate the total annual revenue of all the account records in the object by dividing them to the various batches of size 4. Of size 4. I want to collect all the account records available inside my account object. I want to divide them to the various small batches, and then I would like to collect each and every batch record, batch total revenue value, and I would like to make it as a total sum. Then how can we implement this functionality? Now let me show you practically. Now, let's see. You know that same story, like as the previous batch class we have implemented similar manner we have to do, but here we did some DML operation like as update statement, but here in our current example we want to do any DML operation. So just we are collecting, we are doing the annual revenue sum. That's it, nothing else. Let's see how can we implement. So let me go to the developer console. Let me create a batch class. I'm creating calculate total annual revenue batch. Calculate total annual revenue batch. I'm creating the batch class. So now, as usual, I'm making the batch class as global, and then I'm implementing the batch class with the interface called as database.batchable of its subject. So now, as part of the batch class implementation, we need to prepare a batch class which should be a global class, which should be implemented by an interface called as database.batchable interface. Now, in this database.batchable interface, we are having three methods are available: start, execute, and the finish. We need to provide the implementation for those methods. Now, let's see in this case how can we implement this one. Now, I'm providing that syntax of each and every method: global database start query locator start. So which will be having the parameter database start batchable context context. The second global wide execute, which will be having the two parameters database start batchable context comma list of yes object records accounts to process. Now, third method is global wide, which is having one parameter database start batchable context. So these are the three methods are available as part of my batchable interface. So whenever we are implementing any interface inside your class, then it's our responsibility that we have to provide the implementation for batch interface methods. Whatever the methods are available in this batchable interface, for every method we need to provide the implementation. Now, so we are providing the implementation for the start method, execute method, and the finish method. Now what we need to do right now in this case. So now as part of my requirement, I am having some account records are available inside my account object. I want to collect all those records, divide them to the various batches, and then collect those records annual revenue values and make it as sum from each and every batch and do the total out. Collect every batch records annual revenue and then make it as a sum. That means we have to do that because some value over here. So we have to do that sum of all these annual revenue values. Whatever the annual revenue values are available, I need to make it as sum. So I need to make it as sum for all these annual revenue values. I have to do the sum of all the annual revenue values, and then finally I have to show that result by sending an email notification. This is my requirement. Now, So in this case, collect all the account records from the object right now first, and then we can able to divide them to the various batches. Now, let's implement the function. I'm collecting all the account records. String account score. I'm select the ID of the account record, name of the account record, annual revenue. From account object where annual revenue not equals to 1. That means whatever the records are available inside my account object, in those account records, some records may be there which don't have the value for that annual revenue field. Because annual revenue is not a mandatory field, it's an optional field. So while collecting the account records, if any of the records are there in that object which it doesn't have the value for the annual revenue field, I don't want to fetch those records because it's an unnecessary record to me. It's a waste of time to process that record. Without the annual revenue value, what we can do? Nothing. So that I'm eliminating those kind of records. So for that one, I'm adding the condition where annual revenue value not equals to null. That means please fetch only those account records whose annual revenue value not equals to null. Now, so once the records have been getting prepared, then I would like to execute the SQL query, and I would like to pass those records starting memory address to the query locator class. For that one, I'm using the database.get query locator method. I'm using this database.get query locator method. In this get query locator method, I'm passing that variable where exactly the query has been placed. Now, this database.get query locator method will be executing. It will be executing the specified SQL query, collect the records, placing inside the temporary memory. This temporary memory address I want to return back to that query locator class. I'm returning that address to the query locator class. Now the query locator class will be collecting those records. It will be dividing the records to various batches. So because first batch, some record, second batch, some record, third record, like that, it will be dividing the record to the batches. Now, in that batch, you will be having some four records. I want to collect each and every batch record. I would like to collect the annual revenue value. I want to make it as a sum. Then what we can do in this case? For that one, whatever the batch records are available, those will be available inside my collection called as accounts to process. Now I want to verify if the collection is having some records. That means if the batch is having some records, if the batch is not empty, then I am going to be iterating the collection. For each and every yes subject obj from accounts to process. That means whatever the records are available inside my batch, I'm collecting that batch. If the batch is not empty, that means if the batch is having some records, then I'm collecting that batch. In that batch, whatever the records are available, I'm collecting each and every record. But the batch will be considering every record in the form of a subject type. So I'm collecting this each and every subject record. I want to convert into my own account record because it's an account record. So account sum ACC equals to, I would like to convert into account. So whatever the subject type of element is available, is a subject type of element I'm going to be converting into my account type. I'm storing inside my ACC. Now the type casting also has been done. Now what I need to do, I need to collect the annual revenue value of this account card. How can we collect the annual revenue value? By using ACC dot annual revenue. Okay, by using ACC dot annual revenue. So whatever the value is available, I want to collect, I want to do the sum. This is the first record annual revenue value. Like the similar way, second record annual revenue, third record annual revenue, fourth record annual revenue. Like that, we're collecting these records. Then where we can store this total value, for that one, at the class level, I'm defining a variable. Global decimal total annual revenue equals to 0.0. Initially, I'm making it as 0.0. I'm indicating this. I'm defining one variable, that is total annual revenue, which is used to store the total revenue of all the records inside the batch. So now inside this variable, I would like to store the total revenue. So I'm indicating total revenue plus equals to, I'm collecting this annual revenue. That means what I'm doing here, initially I'm having this total revenue value, annual revenue variable is having 0. The first record, that is nothing but the record 1. Assume that. total revenue value will be 0. So now what I'm doing here in this case, I'm going to store this total revenue, total annual revenue. Initially, it is having the value 0.0. So now here what I'm doing here as part of batch 1, I'm going to be collecting the first batch record, nothing but first batch. In that one first record, what is that value here? I'm collecting 0.0 here, the total revenue value, plus I'm going to be storing that value 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs. This value will be getting resides over. And then, so now the value will be what? Look at 20 lakhs right now. And then I'm going to be adding that plus 10 lakhs. And then we are having 4 lakhs. And then 1 lakh. So these are the values. So total 35 lakhs will be getting available. That means total annual revenue will be holding the value 35 lakhs. The value will be holding this 35 lakhs inside this. So these for one batch. Like the similar way I want to consider. Second batch record also I'm going to be adding to this same total annual revenue. Now, so in this case, now this execute method will be keep on executing. It is keep on executing. So now it will be storing the all the batches total annual revenue value inside this total annual revenue variable. That's it. That's it. Over. Now let me send that email notification over. How to send the email notification? Now let's see practically. I'm collecting each and every account record available inside that batch, and then I'm collecting the annual revenue value, and then I'm storing this. I'm storing this annual revenue value inside this total annual revenue. So let me collect that information. System.debug. The batch job ID is. I want to show batchable context dot get job ID. And I want to track the status results. Whatever the batches are available, I want to collect the entire batch job processing results by querying the data from the async apex job object. I would like to make an executable query, okay, to the async apex job object to get the batch job results. Like how many batches are available inside the batch, and then what is the batch job results, everything I would like to collect. So I'm collecting the data. Async apex job, some job details equals to, I'm fetching the data. Select the ID of the batch job, status of the batch job, total job items, job items processed, and the number of errors created by that email from async apex job, where ID equals to batchable context dot get job, where ID equals to batchable context dot get a job. That means I would like to collect the results of my batch class. So whatever the batches are available inside my batch class, I'm collecting each and every batch job batch class result, so that how many batches are available, and how many batches has been processed, and how many batches has been failed. Everything I would like to track this information by using async apex job object. Once it is available, then we have to send the email notification to the people. So whatever the batch job email ID is available here, that person, nothing but the owner's email ID, I would like to send the email notification. So for that one, I would like to use that the same class which we have prepared previously. Let me open the class. To send the email notifications, we have prepared one class called as messaging utility helper. Now, the messaging utility helper is available over here. I would like to use this the same code. I'm copying this method, or I would like to copy this information. I'm preparing a method. So here I'm passing that complete details of my batch job. I'm indicating the notification over here. Send total revenue job total revenue job status notification. I'm passing the total revenue value also. Decimal revenue amount. Okay, revenue amount also I'm passing. I'm going to be including the whole information. So now I'm indicating that. So Dell weekly batch job support team. I'm going to be indicating that email subject over here. So alert, I'm indicating customers total annual revenue. Customers total annual revenue batch job status notification. I'm adding the batch job name and the batch job rate. So here I'm indicating that. So we are pleased to inform you now that we have executed the customers total annual revenue calculation batch job. Total annual revenue calculation batch job has been executed successfully, and then this is the batch job results. I'm indicating the batch job results. Along with that, I would like to send the total annual revenue value also. I'm indicating break tag total annual revenue is I want to show the total annual revenue amount. So whatever the total annual revenue amount is available, that revenue amount also I'm going to be representing now. So in this case, I'm including this whole information. So I have prepared one other method over here with the name send a total revenue batch job status notification method, and then which will be having three parameters: your batch job details, along with that batch job name, and then a revenue. Whatever the revenue amount we have calculated right now through the batch job, now that value also passing. Now I'm sending this email notification to that email ID. So whatever the email IDs we have specified, to this email IDs I'm sending the email notification. Now let me invoke this method. I'm calling this one. So messaging utility helper dot send a total revenue batch job status notification. So now this is the batch job status notification method which we would like to use. I would like to pass this information. I'm passing the job details, and then I'm passing the total revenue variable over here. The total revenue amount value is available inside this total revenue variable, and then the job name. We have to supply the job. What is this job name? The job name is batch job name is calculate total annual revenue batch. I'm passing this. I'm passing this. So now here I'm going to save in my batch class also. Now my batch class also has been saved successfully. So we have prepared the batch class, and once the batch class execution has been done, I'm sending the email notification with the help of the messaging utility helper class. With the help of this messaging utility helper class, I'm sending the email notification to that the batch job owner, along with the two email IDs additionally we have added. To those people, I'm sending the email notification, and then along with the total annual revenue which we have calculated right now. So now let me execute this batch class right now, and let's see the result. What will be the result it is producing? So what are the results it is producing? Now let's see practical. Let me execute this batch class. So we are having totally 24 records are available. In each and every record, it is having some annual revenue values. So let me execute the batch. Now let's see what will be the total revenue value. Let's go to the execute anonymous window. Create the object of the batch class. New calculate total annual revenue. I'm executing this batch class by using database execute batch. I'm passing that batch class object name as revenue batch. I'm indicating the batch size as 4. Upon giving the batch size, we can give the batch size between 1 to 2000. Minimum batch size is 1, maximum batch size is 2000. Now, so now let me execute this batch class. Now, so let me log in into my Gmail account first. So now let me execute this batch class right now. Click on execute. My batch class has been executed. Now I will be receiving the email notification. So I have received the email notification also. Alert, customers a total annual revenue batch job status notification. I think remaining 2 people also have received the email notification. Let's see. So it is indicating that alert, customers a total annual revenue batch job status notification, and this is the batch job name, and this is the batch job ID which has been generated by Salesforce. So now we can see that. So now the batch job ID has been printed over here. Batch job name or batch job name also has been printed. Status, number of batches are 6 because total 24 records are available in the batch. So inside that object, and then we have divided that records into the various batches of size 4. So totally 6 batches are available. Number of batches failed is 0, but the total revenue value is indicating 0. But when you observe my account records, it is having some annual revenue values are there. Then why it is showing this value 0 to me? Why it is showing this value as 0? I'm having so many account records are available. Every account record is having some annual revenue value. Then why it is showing this value as 0? Now, it is showing this total revenue value as 0. Why it is showing this value as 0? What is the reason? Because that already told you in the previous session itself. In the previous session itself, that already told you for each and every batch, it is maintaining a separated transaction. Each and every batch will be running in a discrete transaction. That means in a separated transaction. Now, let me explain. This is the first batch records. This is the first batch records. In this first batch, we are having 4 records are available. It is calculating the total. It is calculating the total. So the total value is 35 lakhs is available. Now in this case, whenever once the first batch execution has been done, first batch calculation has been done, then it will be informing to the stack method that I'm done with that first batch. So please pass me the second batch. Whenever it is going to moving to that second batch, that already told you automatically whatever the transaction has prepared for that batch 1, the transaction will be getting cleared out. That means whatever the batches are available for every batch, a separate transaction will be getting prepared. So now here for the batch 1, it will be having a separated transaction over here. In this transaction, it is collecting all the 4 records. It is calculating the total annual revenue, that is some 35 lakhs is available. Once the first batch is over, it is moving to the second batch. Whenever it is moving to the second batch, for the batch 2, it is having one more transaction. In this transaction, what will happen? Whenever it is coming out from the batch 1, automatically governor limits will be getting reset to 0. Governor limits will be getting bypassed. Governor limits will be getting resetted automatically. In this case, not only resetting the governor limits, whatever the variables we have defined inside this class, whatever the variables we have defined inside this class, these also will be getting resetted by default. It is also resetted. That means what? Previously in this variable we are having 35 lakhs. Whenever it is moving to the second batch, automatically that value also will be resetting to 0.0 again. Like the similar way, once a batch 2 is over, then it is going to be resetting that value to that 0.0. And then once the batch 4 is over, automatically same. Batch 5, batch 6. Once the batch 6 is also completed, then whenever it is informing to the start method, it is going to be resetting that values and on the limits by 0. So even though once the 6th batch is over, now after completion of that 6th batch, immediately it is informing to the start method, I'm done with that batch processing. So before informing to the start method, it is going to be making this corner limits will be getting resetted, variables will be getting resetted to 0. Then in this case, what we can do? I don't want to reset those values over here. I don't want to reset those values. Then what we can do in this case?
So now what if the total annual revenue is static?
Even if it is a static, it will reset automatically. Okay. Because these are transactions, right? So within the transaction, between the multiple objects, we can maintain that value by using static. But in this case, these are separate transactions. That as per the transaction functionality, one transaction results cannot be carried forward to the next transaction. Okay, like for example, let me explain a small scenario. Assume that I went to an ATM center to withdraw the money. So before withdrawing the money, first of all, I want to know what is the balance available. So I have swiped my card, and then I have entered the PIN number. I have selected the transaction type, and then I have selected option type like as balance inquiry. Now it is showing the balance on the screen. And after that, in the below, after showing that message in the below, it will be showing that message to you. Do you want another transaction? Yes or no? When you press yes, what will happen? Will it be asking you to swipe the card again or not? Yes. We need to swipe the card again. We have to enter that PIN number again. Because for every transaction, we have to swipe the card, we have to enter the PIN number. Because of the safety purpose, because of the security purpose. Suppose if it is not asking you to enter the PIN number, if it is not asking you to enter that, swipe that card. Suppose, for example, I have withdrawn the money here from my account, okay, where I have verified that balance also, for example. Now, immediately, I collected my card, I went outside. So now beside myself, nothing but below myself, one person is there. That person will be has to click on that, okay, in that option, okay, do you want another transaction? He click on yes, then he can able to withdraw the money from my account. So to avoid this kind of fraudulent transaction, they are going to be, okay, resetting that. For every batch, for every transaction, whatever the values are available will be getting resetted, so that one transaction results cannot be carried forward to that next transaction. That is the functionality of transaction concept. When you go to the database, you will be having the concept of asset properties. You will be having the concept of asset properties: atomicity, consistency, isolation, and the durability. So that means what? Whenever you are executing any functionality, we have to execute in a separate transaction, nothing but isolate, nothing but separate transactions. Each and every functionality has to be executed in a separate transaction, so that we can able to avoid that impact of one transaction into another one. Now, so now here in this case, whenever I'm going to be executing this batch class, so now once the first batch class calculation is over, whenever it is informing to the batch 2, first of all, it will be resetting the one limits to 0, and then it is going to resetting the variable values also. Like the similar way, once the 6th batch has been completed, so now before informing to that start method that I'm done with that 6th batch, then it will be resetting the Gonda limits, it will be resetting that variable values also. Because of that, I'm getting that value 0.0. Even though I'm having so many number of records available, so many annual revenue values are also available, I'm getting that total revenue value as a 0.0. Because batch classes are purely running in the stateless mechanism. They're purely executing the stateless mechanism. Nothing but state will not be maintained. State will not be maintained means what? So now one transaction results cannot be carried forward to that next transaction. In this case, I want to allow My requirement is what? Okay, my requirement is what? I want to allow that transaction. I would like to allow the values from one transaction to another transaction. Okay, I would like to allow one transaction results into another transaction. Like for example, assume that, for example, give me a general scenario. Assume that I'm studying with BTech. So in my first semester, I have cleared all the 6 exams. In the second sem, also I have cleared all the 6 exams. In the third sem, I'm done with all the exams. In the fourth semester, also I'm done with all the 4 exams. In the fifth sem, I'm having 2 backlogs. Okay, in the fifth sem, I'm having 2 backlogs. Whenever I'm moving to the seventh sem, what will happen? These 2 backlogs will be carried forward to the next sem. That means in the 7th sem, you will be having 2 backlogs are available. So totally, whenever I'm moving to that fourth year, you will be having that 4 backlogs are available. 6th sem 2 backlogs, 7th sem, 5th sem 2 backlogs. Like that, at the end of that BTech year, we will be calculating all the backlogs, and we need to complete it. That means what? Whatever the backlogs are available in the previous semesters, those will be carried forward to the next semester. Like the similar way here also, I want to implement the stateful mechanism. This kind of mechanism is called as stateful. That means I don't want to cancel, I don't want to erase that previous transaction results. I want to remember one transaction result in another transaction. The first transaction results I would like to carry forward to that next transaction so that you can able to process those records also. Like the similar way, in the first batch, I'm having the 4 records are available. This is the result is available. Now this value will be passing to the second batch. Then it is collecting the second batch records over here. So now here we are having 75,000. It will be adding the total here. 35 lakhs plus 75 lakhs. And then total you will be getting like some 1 crore 20 lakhs. This value will be passing to that third batch. Here you will be having 4 more records, 24 lakhs 50,000. And then 1 crore 20 lakhs plus 24 lakhs 50,000, like as 1 crore, okay, 49 lakhs 50,000, like that. It will be calculating key part. This will be passing to that fourth batch. Fifth batch results will be forwarding over. And then it will be passing that the fifth batch results to the sixth batch. And then after that, it will be passing to that email notification to the user. So that I don't want to erase those values. I don't want to reset the variable values. I want to carry forward the variable values from one transaction to another transaction. This kind of processing is called as inter-process communication. It is called as IPC, inter-process communication. Now, so in this case, what happened? Whenever I'm maintaining the transaction, one transaction results cannot be carried forward to the next transaction. Once a transaction is over, the result will be getting erased automatically here. Donor limits will be getting reset. But I don't want to do that. The first transaction results I want to carry forward to the second transaction. Second transaction result I want to carry forward to the third one. Third results into the fourth. Fourth results into the fifth. Fifth results into the sixth. Like that I would like to carry forward. So now here this kind of implementation is called as stateful implementation. Then how can we allow this kind of stateful implementation? For that one, Salesforce has given a ready-made interface called as database.stateful. Okay, we have an interface called as database.stateful interface. By using this database.stateful interface, we can able to maintain the state management between the various batches, okay, inside your Salesforce instance. Upon implementing the batch processing, whatever the batches are available, between those batches, we can able to maintain the state, okay, with the help of this database.stateful interface. Now, so then how can we use this database.stateful interface? Now let's see over here. We no need to do any additional thing, just we have to add that stateful interface also inside your batch class. Inside your batch class, okay, inside your batch class, here we are using that implements database.batchable interface, comma, that means another interface we have to implement, that is database.stateful. Database.stateful, that's it, over. We no need to do any additional thing, everything will be taken care by that interface itself. Okay, so we have to use database.stateful interface also. It's a common question in every interview. What is this database.stateful interface? Whenever I'm executing the batch processing, batch processing is going to be dividing the records to various batches. To process each and every batch records, it is using a separated transaction. Okay. To process each and every batch record, it is using a separate transaction. Once the batch processing has been done, that means once the first batch records processing has been done, then automatically transaction will be getting rolled back. That means it is going to be cancelling that. Okay, whatever the results have been generated, that will be getting erased. The memory will be getting cleared out. It will reset the counter limits to 0 automatically. Along with that, whatever the variables are available, those variables also will be getting reset. Because it is starting the second batch with a fresh transaction. In that fresh transaction, variable values also will be collecting freshly, and then it will be collecting the fresh counter limits also. So that here, when we come to the end of the batches, then all the values will be getting resetted. We can't collect that actual results. So for that reason, to allow the values to be supplying from one transaction to another transaction. That means I want to carry forward the first batch transaction results into the next batch, and the second batch results into the third batch. Third batch results into the fourth batch, like that up to the last batches I would like to carry forward. So that in order to carry forward the results of one batch records results into another batch, we are going to be using state management between the batches, which can be implemented with the help of database stateful interface. By using database stateful interface, okay, we can able to achieve the state management between the batches, so that one batch results will be carried forward to the next batch. Okay. Now this is the functionality. Now let me execute right now. Observe what will happen in this case. So now let me execute this batch class. Click on execute. See the results. Now we have executed the batch class. We got the result. Open that email. Now it is indicating that. So now this is the batch class, okay, which you have executed right now. And this is the idea of the batch job. For every time, for each and every batch, it is allocating a unique identification number. And that it is indicating the batch job ID, name of the batch job status, number of batches available, number of batches processed, failed batches, total annual revenue. Now here we can able to see the total annual revenue value also inside this here. These are the total annual revenue values available for your all the batches whatever we have inside your batch program. This is a way we can able to implement the state management between the various batches available inside your batch processing. For that reason, we are using the help of an interface called as database.stateful interface. Database.stateful interface is going to be carry forwarding the values from one batch to another batch. But the Gauner limits will be getting resetted for every batch. Okay, Gauner limits will be getting resetted automatically for every batch. That means for every batch, you will be getting the fresh Gauner limits will be available, but the variable values will not be cleared out. The variable values will be available as it is over there. This is the actual implementation of database.stateful interface that we have inside your Apex program. This is the concept of state management and which can be implemented with the help of database.stateful interface inside your batch classes. Now, let me place this code. It's a 100% common question in every interview. It's a 100% standard question in every interview. So what do you mean by database.stateful interface? How to maintain the state between the various batches inside your batch processing?
Firoz,
Yes.
for a public class, you said will define as void, but in a global class also you defined it as void. Is it valid?
Yes. Because here void is just a return type. Okay, what kind of value the method is returning? Okay, it doesn't mean if it is a global, it should return some value, not like that. Depends upon the functionality. If you want, we can return. If you don't want, we can make it as void.
Okay. But in void, what I mean to say is that sometimes it will fetch the value, or otherwise it will not fetch the value. In such cases, how it will execute?
Where
In this global only. In public class also, suppose if we were getting any response from the subsystem, so then it will be capturing, or otherwise it will not capture. No?
but at that time here, if the method is returning the value, then only we can able to capture. If it is not returning that, it will be returning that value as null.
Okay.
That value will be null. Return type should be null at that time.
Okay.
Now, so this is the concept of state management, which can be implemented with the help of database.stateful interface inside your batch program. Now, so now let me explain one more, the most important feature, flex queues. Flex queues. So what exactly the flex queue and what is the use? How to implement the flex queues? What is the need of using flex queues? We'll see practically now. So now let's see what exactly the concept of flex queue. Now, let me take a scenario. For example, I'm having my organization. So this is my Salesforce organization. So this is my Salesforce.com organization. So in my Salesforce.com organization, I'm preparing so many batch classes. I'm preparing so many batch jobs. Okay, to process the salaries, one batch. To process the loans information, another batch. To process that, like some credit cards information, another batch. Like that, here I am going to preparing the multiple batches. Multiple batch jobs are available. Batch job 1, batch job 2, batch job 3, like this here. I prepared so many batch jobs. Like for example, I'm having the various batch jobs. Batch job 1, batch job 2, batch job 3, batch job 4, batch job 5. Like that, I'm having some 60 batch jobs are available. Batch jobs 60 batch jobs are available. Totally, I'm having 60 batch jobs are available inside my batch process, inside my organization. Now, I want to execute all these batch jobs. I want to execute all these batch jobs. Then whenever we are executing these batch jobs, where it will be executing? Inside your organization? No. Outside of your organization, we are having that Salesforce resources are available. That means Salesforce resources. Salesforce server is available. I'm having the Salesforce server. So outside of your organization, we are having our Salesforce server is available. In the Salesforce server side, it is maintaining a separate resources like as a queue. In that queue, it will be executing automatically. So as soon as whenever we are invoking these batch jobs, okay, as soon as whenever you are invoking these batch jobs, these batch jobs are going to be sending to that Salesforce server, and then the Salesforce server is going to maintaining the queue internally. This is a Salesforce server. We are having the Salesforce server. These batch jobs are going to be executing by maintaining a separate resource that is called as Apex queue. So when coming to the batch jobs, each and every batch job will take some time. In the batch job 1, it will be taking some 20 minutes. For example, it will take some 20 minutes. And the batch job 2 will take some 40 minutes to complete. In the batch job 3, it will take some 1 hour. It will take some 1 hour. Batch job 4 will take some 10 minutes. Batch job 5 will take some 15 minutes. Like that batch job 60, it will take some 25 minutes to process. So now in this case, what happened? In each and every batch job, we are having so many batches are available. In the batch job 1, some batches are available, 20 batches. In batch job 2, 50 batches are available. In batch job 3, some 200 batches are available. Like that, in each and every batch job, we are having so many batches are available. Now, to execute those batches, it will be taking some time by the Salesforce server. For example, now, in this case here, observe this one. So now, when coming to the Salesforce server is going to be maintaining a Apex queue. You know that concept here. Salesforce is maintaining an Apex queue. In that Apex queue, all these batch jobs will be getting placed over there. Whatever the batch jobs that you have prepared, all these batch jobs are going to placing inside that Salesforce queue or Apex queue. So now Salesforce is maintaining the queue. This is the queue is available. This is called as Salesforce queue. So we are having this Salesforce queue is available. That Salesforce queue is also called as Apex queue. Is also called as Apex queue. This is called as Apex queue. So keep on, it is going to be interacting with that server is going to be keep on looking into that Apex queue, that do we have any jobs are waiting inside this particular QR. If there is any request or if there is any jobs are waiting inside the queue, it will be collecting that job, it will be start executing by the Salesforce server, it will send the response back. So now in this case, inside this queue, it is going to be holding those records, okay? It will be holding the record for some time till the Salesforce server is free. Till the Salesforce server is available, till the Salesforce server is having the required resources available, it is going to placing that queue, okay, it is placing the records inside that queue. Now, in this case, so what were the jobs that you have initiated to execute? Those jobs are going to be placing inside that Salesforce queue, okay, that means Apex queue, till the resources are available, till the Salesforce server is available over here. Now, so now we are in this case here. For example, I have initiated that first 5 jobs. Okay, I have initiated that first 5 jobs. How I have initiated, I have created the object of the batch job 1, and then I'm executing by using database that execute batch. For the second batch, I've created the object here. I have executed by using database.execute batch method. Third batch, fourth batch, fifth batch, all the 5 batch jobs I have executed right now in one shot. So all these 5 batch jobs are going to placing inside that Apex queue. So whatever the 5 batch jobs are available, all these 5 batch jobs are going to placing inside that Apex queue. Now, here's the first batch job over here. Batch job 1. Here's the second batch job. This is also placing inside that batch job 2, also inside the queue. Third batch job, and then fourth batch job, and then fifth batch job. These are going to placing inside this queue over here. Now, this is the job 1. Job 1. Batch job 1. Okay, the batch job 1. This is the second job here. Job 2 is the second batch job. And here the job 3. And here the job 4. Job 4. And here the job 5. All the 5 batch jobs are waiting inside this Apex queue. Now, once the Salesforce server is free, once the required resources becomes available, then Salesforce will be collecting each and every job from the Apex queue. It will start executing that. This is the internal concept over here. Now, for example, here in this case, this is the Apex queue. Okay, this is the Apex queue. So now these are the 5 jobs are waiting over here. Okay, these are the 5 jobs are waiting. Now today, I have initiated some more batch jobs also. Okay, I have initiated some more batch jobs also. Like a job 6 also, job 7 also, job 8 also. 3 more batch jobs I have executed. But in this course, Salesforce won't allow. Why? Because is from an organization, okay, from an organization, only 5 jobs can be available inside this queue in the active status. That means from your organization, 5 jobs are waiting inside the Apex queue. So as part of this batch class functionality, whenever we are initiating the batch jobs, maximum of 5 batch jobs can be considered from a particular organization at a time. Okay, at a time. So now already 5 batch jobs are waiting over here from your organization. So I can't take up some more batch jobs from your side. So please wait for some time. So let me complete some of the jobs from this Apex queue from your organization side. Then I will allow that some more jobs. That means what? When coming to the Apex queue can hold only maximum of 5 batch jobs from an organization. From an organization at a time, we can able to push maximum of 5 batch jobs in the queue over here, not more than that. When you try to push the 6 batch jobs, it won't allow. It won't allow. Then what we can do? So do I need to wait till the completion of this 5 batch jobs? So now to complete these 5 batch jobs, it will be taking some minimum 2 hours of time. Then I have to wait for 2 hours of time. Then I need to push the next step of 5 batch jobs. Like that, I'm having 60 batch jobs are available inside my organization, which I would like to execute every day. Then what we can do? I need to push 5 batch jobs. After completion of that one, next to 5. And after that, next to 5. After that, next to 5. After that, next to 5. Like that, 5 batch jobs are pushing at a time. Once the completion of that, executing all those 5 batch jobs, then we are pushing the next to 5 batch jobs like that. But in this case, what happened? To complete those 5 batch jobs, it will be taking some 2 hours of time. So then what we can do till the 2 hours of time? I need to sit idle, right? And that too, okay, I have to leave a bit early today to my home. So in this case, what happened? I'm wasting my time over here. Okay, I'm wasting my time. So in this case, instead of waiting till the completion of that previous 5 batch jobs, then Salesforce has indicated one more feature called as Flex queue. Okay, Salesforce has initiated a feature called as Flex queue. So what is the use of this Flex queue? Flex queue will allows you to push maximum of 100 batch jobs into the queue at a time. Okay, Flex queue will allows you to push maximum of 100 batch jobs at a time inside the queue. Okay, whenever we are using this Flex queue concept here, previously Flex queue concept was not there. So initially they have introduced only the Apex queue, but the Apex queue will allow only the 5 batch jobs from an organization, not more than that. It won't allow more than 5 active batch jobs inside that queue at a time. This is the limitation given by Salesforce. That means from an organization, we can push maximum of 5 active batch jobs inside that Apex queue. Not more than that. When you try to push the 61, Salesforce won't allow. Only 5 active batch jobs to be get placed inside that Apex queue. Then what we can do? I'm having my large enterprise business. I'm into the banking. We have so many branches are available. We are having so many batches are available, which I would like to execute, keep on. Not only 5 batch jobs, I'm having some 20 batch jobs are there, or 50 batch jobs are there, or 70 batch jobs are available. Then what we can do? In this case, Salesforce has given one more additional feature that is called as Flex Queue. They have introduced a feature called as Flex Queue. Here's the Flex Queue is available over here. So we are having that a queue called as Flex Queue. Internally, Salesforce is maintaining a Flex Queue. Now, what this Flex Queue will allow? Flex Queue will allow you to push maximum of 100 batch jobs. Okay, Flex Queue will allow you to push maximum of 100 batch jobs here. That means what, as of now, what we did, first of all, we are pushing the first 5 batch jobs into the queue. Then we are waiting here. Okay, we are waiting till the completion of the first 5 batch jobs. Once the first 5 batch jobs have been processed successfully, then we are pushing the next 5 batch jobs. After completion of the next 5 batch jobs, we are pushing next 5 batch jobs like that. To avoid such kind of problems here, I want to push all the 100 batch jobs at a time. For that reason, we are going to be using this Flex Queues. We are using this Flex Queue. With the help of this Flex Queue, we can able to push all the 100 batch jobs into the queue at a time. Now, so what are the batch jobs that you want to push? We can able to push all the batch jobs into the queue in one shot over here. For example, I'm going to push in this batch jobs. I'm pushing this batch jobs over here. Job 1, job 2, job 3, like that. I'm pushing that batch jobs over here. So now I'm going to placing this batch jobs here. Now, now we are having the batch jobs are available like this. Now batch job 5 and the batch job 6 and the batch job 7, batch job 8, batch job 9, batch job 10, batch job 11, batch job 12, like that. The various batch jobs you can able to push up to 100 batch jobs inside this queue over here. Like that, we can able to push maximum of 100 batch jobs inside this Flex queue. So now that means what? Instead of pushing the jobs 5, 5, 5, 5 like that, we can push all the 100 batch jobs at a time. So now in this case, whenever I'm going to pushing this all this, okay, the 60 batch jobs, then all these batch jobs are going to placing inside the Flex queue. Okay, all these batch jobs are going to placing inside the Flex queue over here. Now then from this Flex queue, where it will be executing, this is nothing but just a queue which will be holding your batch jobs for some time. Okay, which will be holding the batch jobs for some time. From here, how we are going to be executing, for that one Apex queue will be communicating with this Flex queue internally. Apex queue is going to be communicating with this Flex queue. It will be communicating with the Flex queue automatically every time. Okay, now it will be communicating with the Flex queue internally. So in this case, what happened? Whenever we are pushing this 60 batch jobs, all the 60 batch jobs are going to be placing inside that Flex queue. All the 60 batch jobs are going to be placing inside that Flex queue over here. So assume that these are the 60 batch jobs are available. Whenever the jobs are available inside this particular Flex queue, for each and every batch job, Salesforce is going to be allocating the status. For each and every batch job, Salesforce is going to be allocating the status as holding status. Okay, the status will be holding status. The batch jobs will be having the status as holding status. Nothing but currently these batch jobs are waiting in the holding status. These are on hold. Nothing but these are not processing by that server. So now these are on hold because server is busy. So now here, please wait for some time. Then Apex queue will collect some batch jobs from the Flex queue to the Apex queue. Nothing but will lift some jobs over here. From Flex queue to the Apex queue, it will start processing. So till that time, these are on hold status. That means server is busy right now over here. So that for each and every batch job, it is going to be allocating the status as holding status. For every batch job, it is giving the status as holding status over here. All the batch jobs here, which are having inside that Flex queue, these are available in that holding status here. Now, so once the Apex queue is free, nothing but here, once the Salesforce server is ready, then what Salesforce server will do is, it will verify from this organization, do we have any jobs are waiting inside the Apex queue or not? No. From my organization, there is no jobs are available over here. Then what it will do, it will verify. It will look into that Apex Flex queue. Do we have any jobs are waiting inside the Flex queue or not? Yes, there are some jobs are waiting inside the Flex queue, which are with the holding status over here. Now, what Salesforce will do is, it will collect only the first 5 batch jobs. Whatever the first 5 batch jobs are available, it will collect that first 5 batch jobs from that particular queue, and then a Flex queue, and these are going to be moving into your Apex queue automatically. Whatever the first 5 batch jobs are available waiting inside that Flex queue, these are going to be moving into that Apex queue here, because it will be collecting these jobs to be get processed over here. Okay, now, so in this case, what happened, whenever the jobs are moving from this Flex queue to the Apex queue, automatically these jobs status will be getting changed. These jobs status will be getting changed from the holding status to the queued status. These jobs status will be changing to the queued status. Nothing but these are waiting inside the queue to be executed. Nothing but server is executing one batch of jobs, so the remaining are waiting in the queue. Nothing but queued status over here. Okay. Now these 5 jobs will be having that status as queued status. Each and every batch job which is waiting inside this Apex queue, these will be having the status as queued status. Queued status. These batch jobs will be having the queued status right now over here. Now, so now whenever this first 5 batch jobs has been moved from the Flex queue to the Apex queue, remaining batch jobs are going to be moving forward. Okay, these are going to be moving ahead automatically. The remaining batch jobs are going to be moving ahead automatically by default. The remaining batch jobs are going to be moving ahead over here. So these are the batch jobs are waiting inside this Flex queue right now. So now here in this case, once the first 5 batch jobs has been moved to the Apex queue, from there it will collect each and every batch job. It will collect each and every batch job. That means job 1. Salesforce will be collecting the job 1 to start executing that. Upon executing this job, it is going to be changing the status from queued status to processing status. It is changing the status to queue to processing status. So now here, once that job has been getting processed successfully, then it is changing the status to completed. It is changing the status to completed. It is changing the status to completed. These are the various statuses are available for each and every job. Initially, it will be placing inside that Flex queue. Flex queue will be having the capability to hold 100 batch jobs at a time. Okay, Flex queue is having the capability to hold 100 batch jobs at a time, and then for each and every batch job, okay, for each and every batch job, it is going to be allocating the ID, and then it is making the status as holding status. That means these are in the holding status right now. These are on hold. That means here server is not processing right now. Server is busy with some another processing. Server is busy with some another batch jobs, so that these jobs are on hold status right now. These are waiting for some time inside that Flex queue. So that here, so now for each and every batch job inside the Flex queue, we is allocating the status as holding status. Once the jobs are available inside this Flex queue with the holding status, then whenever Salesforce server becomes available, whenever server is free, it will be initiating to that Apex queue. Please collect or please lift the first 5 batch jobs from the Flex queue. Now the Apex queue will be collecting the first 5 batch jobs. It is placing inside that Apex queue. Once the jobs have been placed inside the Apex queue, that means these are ready to process by Salesforce. These are ready to process by the Salesforce server, so that it is changing the status from holding status to queued status. Once the status has been changed to the queued, then from there it will be collecting that first batch job. It is going to be changing the status to the processing. It will start executing that. Once the batch job completion has been done, it is changing the status to completed over here. Once the batch job 1 has been completed, once the batch job 1 has been executed successfully, then it is going to be removing this batch job from the queue. So that it is going to be removing this batch job from the queue, then automatically the remaining batch jobs are going to be moving ahead over. Okay, remaining batch jobs will be moving ahead. So that second batch job it will collect, it will change the status from queue to processing, it will be execute, complete this one. If the second batch job also done, it will be removing this second job from the queue, and then it is going to be moving that remaining batch jobs will be coming ahead automatically by default. Coming ahead. Like that similar way, it will be executing the third batch job also. If the third batch job also has been completed, then remaining 2 batch jobs will be coming ahead. They're coming forward. Then will take up that fourth batch job. If the fourth batch job also has been completed successfully, then it is going to be collected. Fifth batch job will be coming ahead automatically. So now after some time, the fifth job also will be getting executed successfully. This batch job will be getting. So there is no batch jobs are waiting inside the Apex queue. Then Salesforce will be looking into the Flex queue. So now few more batch jobs are available. So it will pick up the next 5 batch jobs from that queue. Next 5 means the 6 to 10. It will collect the next 5 batch jobs from that Flex queue. What are the next 5 batch jobs are waiting inside that queue? It will collect those 5 batch jobs. It will be placing inside the Apex queue. These 5 batch jobs are going to placing inside the Apex queue. Then the same story will be getting repeated again. It will change the status to queued status, and then it is going to taking each and every job. It will be processing that. It will be executing the jobs over here. So now whenever we are moving that, the for next 5 into that Apex queue, automatically remaining batch jobs will be coming ahead automatically inside that Flex queue. Like that, here Salesforce is going to be giving the flexibility that we can able to place maximum of 100 batch jobs inside that Flex queue. That means we can push all the 100 batch jobs inside the Flex queue. From there, Apex queue will pick up 5 batch jobs to processing that, and then next 5 batch jobs processing, next 5 batch jobs processing. Like that, will be executing that here. This is the internal concept of Flex queue. Because if it is a small organization, I may be having 5 batch jobs or 2 batch jobs, 1 batch job max. But if it is a large enterprise, number of batch jobs are more. So at that time here, we are using the help of Flex queue. So that Flex queue will allows you to push maximum of 100 batch jobs into the queue at a time. From there, Salesforce is going to be collecting 5 batch jobs. It will be start executing inside. Okay, now this is the concept of Flex queue internally by default.
Sir, here our jobs have different execution time, right?
Yes.
So we need to execute the maximum number of times, like total 5 jobs we have to execute. Then only next 5 will come into picture.
Yes, right.
Because I mean, in those 5 jobs, large one having some 2 hours of time, others having like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So
Right.
even though the total queue is completed, but only one job is there which are having 2 hours of time. So I mean, in that queue only 4 are executed and only one is executing now. So in that case also we have to wait for that to complete.
Yes, right. We have to wait till the completion of that batch job. So in this case, suppose here, for example, I'm having some more number of batch jobs are waiting inside this Flex queue. For example, let me explain your concept. I'm having the 20 batch jobs are available inside of this. For example, I'm having some batch jobs are available over. So these are the batch jobs are available, for example. These are the batch jobs are there inside my Flex. Whenever we are having the batch jobs inside this Flex queue, for each and every batch job, Salesforce is allocating a serial number. Okay, for each and every batch job, Salesforce is allocating the serial number over. Like as a 0, 1, 2, like that, Salesforce is allocating that serial. Now here first 5 batch jobs are over. Now it is collecting the next 5 batch jobs over. But in this case, in this meantime, what happened? Now I'm having a batch job that is 12. I want to execute it first because it's a high priority batch job. I want to execute it first. So for that one, what we can do, we can change the order of this batch jobs inside the flex queue, only in the flex queue, not in the flex queue. Whatever the batch jobs are available inside this flex queue, these batch jobs order we can able to change. That means we can able to reorder them. Instead of placing this batch job 12 at that last, we can able to make it move it to that first also. The facilities are available. So whatever the batch jobs are available inside your flex queue, we can able to reorder them to indicate which job has to be executed first. That facility is available as part of your flex queue. Okay. Now, in this case, whenever we are going to be using the flex queue is used to push maximum of 100 batch jobs inside the queue at a time. From there, Salesforce server will pick up 5 batch jobs from the flex queue. It will start processing over here inside. And then, whatever the jobs are available inside the flex queue, for those batch jobs, we can change the order also. That means we can able to reorder them in order to indicate which job has to be get executed first. Because more number of jobs are waiting inside that flex queue, because these are in holding status, we can able to rearrange. We can able to arrange these particular jobs also. The facility is available as part of your flex queue concept. Then, how can we do that? And how can we verify the flex queue? Now let's see practically in this case. Basically, it's not a practical concept. It's just a process level concept internally maintaining by Salesforce. Now let me show you where exactly the flex queue option is available, and then how can we monitor them. Now let me show you that in this case.
Firoz, is there any possibility if you approach Salesforce support? Is there is any possibility to increase the weight limit in this flex queue?
No. That will be fixed for every organization. It may be any edition. There is no concept to expand that.
Okay, fine.
Sir,
Firoz, what
can
is
we
the
about
criteria for using batch size?
Sorry?
What is the criteria to select the batch size?
No, there is no
Batch-
specific criteria. That is depends upon your requirement. Because that is depends
No.
upon your requirement. We can able to specify the batch size between 1 to 2000.
Yeah, if we want to select any number, what like if I am coding any program, so how I select this batch size?
So now
What
generally
basis?
we are using. There is no specific basis. There is no specific criteria to select that batch sizes. Depends upon the requirement. If you want to consider more number of records per batch, then we can able to go with that because the 2000 maximum. Okay.
Yes, agreed. But if I want to choose a 2000 or a number 2, I should come up with some analysis, right? What is that?
So based on that number of operation, like as based on that, how many fields you are updating, based on that we can able to decide. Like for example, if the complex operations were performing, like as more number of operations were performing, at that time we can reduce the batch size. And
So
then
if
one more
we-
thing. For example, if you are going to be executing some integrations, okay, if you are going to be invoking some third-party website through batch processing, then we can specify the maximum batch size should be 10. Okay, maximum batch size should be 10 because there per batch, okay, per batch we can able to invoke maximum of 10 callouts. Okay, we can able to invoke maximum of 10 callouts per batch. That is a limitation given by the Salesforce as part of integration facilities.
Sir, can we abort 1 or 2 jobs from Apex queue and insert it from our flex queue?
No, we can't insert it from the flex queue to that Apex queue directly. That will be taken care by Salesforce. Just we need to push into that flex queue. That's it. If you want to abort the job, and in the last session I told you system.abort job method. In that one, pass the batch job ID. It will be aborting the batch job. Okay.
That too, it will happen before queued status, right?
No. Whenever if you want to abort that batch job, that abort batch job can be from the Apex queue only, not from the flex queue.
Okay.
Upon executing that batch job, if it is taking more time, keep on it is showing that status like as processing, then we can able to abort that batch job also. So now let's see in this case, how can we implement this one? How can we specify that the flex queue? Where is this flex queue option is available? Flex queue will be available inside that monitor option. Go to the setup, go to that monitor, go to the jobs. You will be having the Apex of flex queue. Apex flex queue. So now we can go to the monitor menu. Inside the jobs, you are having the Apex of flex queue option is available. There we can able to see in that flex queue what are the jobs are waiting inside this, which are in holding status. Let me show you practically. Go to the setup menu. Go to the monitor. Go to the jobs. We have an option called as Apex of flex queue. Click on this Apex of flex queue, and then it is indicating that information. So monitor the status of Apex jobs in the Apex flex queue and reorder them to control which jobs are processed first. So that here, whenever if you're executing more number of batch jobs, then directly inside the Apex queue we can't push, because here Apex queue will be collecting maximum of 5 active batch jobs from an organization. Only 5 batch jobs will be considered from an organization at a time. If you're pushing more number of batch jobs, it won't consider. Okay, so that here it is going to be pushing those jobs into the flex queue first. Now, let's see in this case here, how can we push the batch jobs into the queue? How can we monitor them? Okay, I will try to get that one because it will take some more time, okay, to load that page. So based on the internet access also. Now let me try. So now here I'm going to invoke in this batch job here. Calculate total annual revenue. I don't want to send the email notification. I want to push this job, okay, into the queue. Just I'm going to be commenting this, sending the email notification code. I'm commenting this part. I want to push the same job, okay, for 20 times. For that one, what I want to do is I'm executing this code within the file. Int is counter equals to 1, counter less than or equals to 20, counter plus. I'm pushing this same job into the queue for 20 times. Now, my requirement is I need to calculate the total annual revenue batch. I'm dividing the batch size, dividing the records, the various batches of size 4. And then I'm going to pushing the same batch into the queue 20 times. Okay, now. So this is the flex queue user interface is available over here. Now, let's see. Let me execute this piece of code. Now it has sent the 20 jobs into the queue. Let's go to that flex queue user interface. Now let's see. So these are the jobs are waiting inside this flex queue over here. For each and every job, we can able to change the order also. It is indicating an option called as reorder. Now refresh this user interface. If you refresh this user interface, now it is going to be indicating that. Now some jobs have been processed over here. Only 3 are waiting. If you want to change this order, then you can change. Click on reorder. Click on this reorder link. We can able to change the order over here. Now here you can specify the new position. I want to give it as a 1. That means place it first. Now it is indicating failure to reorder the job because here jobs has been processed over. So in this case, what happened? Keep on, it is going to be pushing those jobs. Now let's try to push more than 100 jobs. Let's observe what will happen in this case. I'm trying to be executing it for 120 times. The same job I'm pushing into the queue 120 times. Click on execute. Let's see what will happen. It will be indicating that exception to you, system.async exception. So now you have exceeded the limit of 100 jobs in the flex queue for the organization. So in this case, what needs to be done? So now wait for some of your batch jobs to finish before adding more. To monitor and reorder the jobs, use the Apex flex queue setup page. So inside the flex queue, it will allow us to push maximum of 100 jobs at a time. Now, so I'm going to pushing that only some 40 jobs right now over here. Click on execute. Now pushing that 40 jobs into the queue. Let's refresh this user interface to see what are the jobs are available inside this flex queue. It is loading those jobs. Now, these are the jobs are waiting inside this flex queue. So now you can re-add these batch jobs also. So now keep on, you can refresh that, you can able to get that information. Keep on, Salesforce is going to be collecting 5 batch jobs from the flex queue to the Apex queue to start processing that. Still it is loading that page. So now here we'll be having the option of reorder option. In that reorder option, just you can click on the reorder, change that order of that batch job also, so that we can able to place it at first place. It will be processing first. This is the position for each and every batch job available inside this particular. The flex queue is going to be allocating the position. Like as 1, 2, 3, 4, it is allocating that sequence number is available. Now, these batch jobs are keep on processing by Salesforce, and then once you refresh this user interface, then you will get that the remaining batch jobs information inside the flex queue which are waiting inside this. Still it is loading the page. By that time, I think all the batch jobs will be getting processed by Salesforce. See, all the batch jobs have been processed. If you want to see those batch jobs which have been processed, then you can go to the Apex jobs. You can see those jobs information. These are the jobs which has been processed by Salesforce. Status is completed status. You can see what are the batch jobs has been processed by Salesforce. The whole information we can see. This is how we can able to put the jobs into that flex queue, and from there it is going to be collecting the jobs into that Apex queue automatically. 5 batch jobs, it will start processing. This is how we can able to push more number of jobs into the queue in one shot with the help of that Apex flex queue concept. Okay. So in the next session, we'll see the concept of schedule programming. How can we schedule the jobs to be done on based on the now, then how can we do that? We'll see practically in this case. So the next concept will be scheduling concept that will be on Monday again. Tomorrow we don't have the session, and we'll be having the next session on Monday.
Sir, how can we